up, peeps? Welcome to a pickup video. It has been a very long time. I'm also just getting over being a little bit sick, so if my voice sounds a little bit off, that is probably why. But I have not filmed a pickup video, I'm pretty sure, since September. So we have a ton of stuff to go through. Make sure you grab a snack and a drink, because this is going to be a very long video. I'm going to have to film it in two parts. This first part here is going to be all of the big box stuff, the consoles, accessories, stuff like that. Then once I get through all this, I'll clear it all out, bring all the video games in, and then we'll go through all of those. So, we're just going to jump right into it. So this is going to include stuff that I bought at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. This is not going to include the gifts I received for Christmas. Even though I'm filming this after Christmas, those games are still at the store. So you're going to see them in my room tour, hopefully, which is coming very soon, but I will show you guys those games in the next pickup video. You've already seen them if you watch the vlogs, but just wanted to let you guys know that's how it's going. So, first up, I just have a bunch of random stuff here. I'm just going to start grabbing. We'll go through. I have one of the Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch docks, and this is directly from Nintendo's website. This is a refurbished product, so when they send it, it comes in this like baggie. It's got like a sticker on it and stuff, so you know it's officially from Nintendo. I have a bunch of products like this that I've gotten through their website that I'm just holding on to because they used to kind of do the same thing back in the day with like Super Nintendo and NES accessories, and if you find those in the refurbished like bag, those are really hard to find and super desirable for collectors. So I'm kind of just taking a gamble that it's going to be the same thing for the Switch in the future. I also have some Wii U and 3DS stuff. And even Wii stuff that comes in the refurbished bags like that. Next up, we have the Japanese Club Nintendo Hanafuda cards. They come in like a little shipping box and everything, but I know I'm super far from the camera. You can't really see, but you guys probably know what they look like. Then, I have, this is really cool. I always open it upside down. This is a Super Mario World LCD watch. And it's got the original plastic holder and everything, which is really cool because I also have a Star Fox one that I found, probably my favorite Goodwill find of all time. I found it in the jewelry case at a Goodwill for $5. That was super cool, and now I have a Mario one to match, which is amazing. Kind of putting stuff off to the side there so we can create some room. I'm also going to put my phone into airplane mode because I already got one text, and I don't want it to be going off. It's really hot in here also, so if I get a little bit sweaty, that's why. Next, we have a cherry red Japanese PlayStation 1 memory card. This thing is still factory sealed, which is really cool. Then one thing that I bought from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, probably one of the rarest things I have to show you in the entire video, is the Zelda Ocarina of Time Kmart soundtrack and t-shirt bundle. And this is all still factory sealed. The shirt is folded up and sealed to the back of the soundtrack here. Looks like the soundtrack is sealed on the inside, but then the whole thing is sealed again together. I don't necessarily care about getting a lot of sealed stuff anymore, but for this, you kind of have to get it sealed if you want to get it in its original form because it doesn't come in like a cardboard box or anything. But I thought that was really cool. One of my favorite pickups of the year, definitely. I have two Ultimate Codes like Action Replay discs here. One is for Final Fantasy for the PlayStation, and I also have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube. I actually do collect these, and I have a decent stack for both PlayStation and GameCube. Always cool to add to that. I got a VHS, which I get a lot of like video game related VHS and DVDs and stuff, like the Mario cartoon DVDs. I don't normally show those, but this one's kind of special. This is a factory sealed Game Player's Game Tape Volume 1 Number 9 for the Power Glove. So, as far as I know, this was kind of like a promotional giveaway thing from a magazine, and the fact that it's sealed probably doesn't mean very much, but when I'm trying to look this up, I can find the footage on YouTube, but I cannot find a single one posted or sold on eBay. And I bought this from my buddy David. I think he got that probably from the Goodwill outlet or something. Super cool. Couple accessories here. We have the new 3DS charging cradle, and then the wired internet LAN adapter for the Switch. And the LAN adapter I bought to use, and then realized you can use a Wii LAN adapter, which I already had. So I didn't have to wait for that. I just started using the Wii LAN adapter. Then that one came in the mail, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really need to buy that. I have the Arc the Lad Collection watch, which comes in a little metal case here. And I don't know if this was like some sort of pre-order bonus for the game or something like that, but still really, really cool. I already have the game complete, so that is just to kind of complement that little set. Next, I have two calendars. These are Nintendo game, the Power Game Calendar from 1990 and 1991. What's really cool about that is that I was born in 1990, so this is the calendar of my birth year, and these are both really cool. They have a lot of really awesome artwork in them. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll just open up to a random page and show you some Kid Icarus action on there. Super, super cool. Also from my buddy David, I got these iron-on shirt transfers that are all Super Mario Brothers related. Might make a video putting one of those onto a t-shirt at some point, because we do have that heat press at the store now, so I could use it for that. I wasn't going to show these, but I figured I just would really quick. I have a huge stack of instruction manuals for games that I already have, or at least boxes I already had. So there's like Super Nintendo, there's Game Boy Advance, NES, Game Boy Color, original Game Boy, and that's pretty much it just for those consoles, but there's a bunch of manuals here. I also have a ton more coming in the mail. Obviously you'll see them when I do the pickup video, but I just bought the majority of the manuals that I needed for my entire collection from one person in one shot. It's another store owner. He said he's been open for 15 years and has never sold any of the extra manuals that have come in. So he has thousands and thousands of them. And I posted the list of what I needed, and he had the majority of them, which is super cool. So those are coming in the mail. Next up, we have the Analog Pocket and the dock for it. I have not used this at all yet. It just came in the other day. But I got the black console, which is right there. I did power it on, and I didn't put any games in it yet, but I did power it on and look at it. And then, of course, we got the dock. We have to get the dock because I'm not much of a handheld gamer. I do love playing on the TV, so that is super, super awesome. Definitely probably going to have that hooked up here in the game room. Next, we have two of these Ultra Detail figures. This is number 198 and 199, and it is some sort of like blue capped Mario and then a Luigi. And these are not super old. These are from 2000, well, this is 2013. This one says 2015, but they're all styled like the old 80s era. And these are really, really cool. And I have another one or two in the collection already, but I do open these and display them. They are really, really awesome. I love getting those. Then I have some controllers here. First, we have just a standard Indigo GameCube controller. This is the Japanese version. The North American ones came in plastic blister packs. The Japanese ones came in cardboard boxes, so I love collecting all of those. And then, sticking with the controllers, I have 3 HoriPad Minis for the Nintendo 64 with their original packaging, which is kind of hard to find. I have a black one here. They come in these like plastic boxes with like cardboard inserts on the inside of them. This one is the clear red and white, which matches the Japanese exclusive console that came out like that. And then lastly, this packaging is really beat up. It doesn't really stand up, but it's the yellow one. So we are importing a lot of controllers and stuff from Japan for the store, and a lot of times they don't tell us if it's going to come with the box or not. We assume they're going to come loose. Those ones came with the packaging, so I had to keep them, but we might get some more in the future. Who knows? I'd love to finish out that set of controllers as well. Sticking with N64, Abby got me the gold Nintendo 64 controller, which is still factory sealed. This is a Toys R Us exclusive, if you guys did not know. It says it right here. And out of the blister pack N64 controllers that were released in North America, this was one of 2 that we still needed for the collection. The last one we need is Fire Orange. I'm really, really looking for one of those sealed if you guys know of one. But Abby got this at PRGE. She was going to save it as a Christmas gift for me, but she decided to give it to me early because there was another one that had just been posted on eBay, and she was like, man, that one just posted on eBay is really, really cheap. I want to tell you to buy it for the store, but it's going to spoil the surprise because I already got you one, basically. So she gave me this early. Super, super cool. This one was in much nicer condition than the one that was on eBay. So I'm glad that I'm able to keep the one that she actually bought and not the one that we just bought online because it's not as fun. I think the last controller I have to show that's just a controller by itself, also I got from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and that is the Dragon Quest Slime controller for the PS2. This one is still sealed here in the packaging. Really, really cool controller. And then I'm going to go through a bunch of like big box Switch games really quick. So we have the Knights of the Old Republic, the like VHS style version. We also have the Castlevania Collection, the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. The Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Classic Super Nintendo style edition. Dusk Diver 2 Launch Edition. Crystar Limited Edition. 2 Shantae Limited Editions here. These were exclusive to conventions, so I think originally they were at PAX, which is where Kyle picked these up for me. Shantae Risky's Revenge and just regular Shantae, both for the Switch. When they came to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, they also had these available. So originally they were PAX exclusive, then they were just convention exclusive, but happy to have those. We also have Made in Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness Collector's Edition. Comes with a notebook and a cloth poster. And then we have Octopath Traveler Wayfarer's Edition. This is a beautiful looking box. I love the plastic like slipcover over it. I wish more special editions would have this kind of plastic cover because it really helps to prevent, you know, the box from getting, you know, scuffed up on the shelves and stuff like that. Really, really cool. Then we have the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Collector's Edition, which comes with the amiibo. And the Monster Hunter amiibos are really, really cool. I got rid of my amiibos a while ago. I only have a couple left that are specific collection ones I want, like the Banjo one. But the Monster Hunter amiibo are really, really awesome. They're super highly detailed, and I really, really like seeing that. Then we have the Root Double Before Crime After Days Extend Edition, Collector's Edition. Super long name. Sorry about the glare, guys. I have my lights here. Then we have the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition. The back is super cool, just a big, like, artwork piece. Then we have the Real Fishing Rod with Game. This is Fishing Star World Tour. Comes with a, like, weird fishing controller adapter thing that you put your Joy-Cons into. Then we have the Dragon's Lair Trilogy Special Edition. We have a few more Switch games here. Clockwork Aquario. This is the... I don't know exactly what this version is called. It's basically the special edition. There's a standard edition and there's a bigger one which I have to show you here as well. This is the in-between version. Then we have Wonder Boy, Asha in Monster World. Big box special edition. I have a lot of really big ones here to show you guys. Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton Reboot Special Edition. This is like... These boxes are kind of weird. These are from Strictly Limited. They're like shoe boxes almost. It's really weird. I have the Club Nintendo character statue here, which it's in the plastic, so I'm not taking it all the way out, but it's the one you guys have probably seen. It's got Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, Peach, Bowser, and a Goomba. And this is the first time I've ever owned this. I'd always seen it online. I always wanted it. And for some reason, I thought that it was going to actually be like a resin statue, but it's kind of just like rubbery. Kind of a letdown, but it's my own fault for not really looking into it. Huge special edition. Wonder Boy, Asha, and Monster World. Look at this box. This is like a console box. This is bigger than like a console box for certain consoles. That is crazy big. Couple Switch consoles here. We have the Pokemon and the Splatoon OLED Switches. And then another Switch. We have the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. The dock is not in here, but it does have the Joy-Cons, so it's not fully complete yet, but I'll find a dock eventually. And then I'm knocking stuff down over here. The biggest, I think this is literally the biggest Switch Special Edition that I own. And that is the Clockwork Aquario Ultra Collector's Edition. Look how freaking massive this box is. This is ridiculous. The Streets of Rage 4 one is pretty big, but I think this one might be a little bit bigger. The SpongeBob, the big like SpongeBob one that's like 3 feet long, that one's bigger than this one, but I do not have that one. And I actually had the opportunity to buy it from Adam, because he has one that he was going to get rid of, and I was like, I don't know where that would go. So, while I do want it for the collection, it's too big. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. So, moving on, I have some consoles here. Oh, actually, one more big box game. Vampire Knight for the PS2 with the GunCon controller. Super, super cool. Where do I have I have some of the other ones in here somewhere. I'm not sure where they are. They're somewhere on this wall. But I think this is 3 or 4 different ones that I have now. So, love collecting those. Super cool. Not a lot of big box PS2 games. So, that's awesome. And then, the rest of the stuff I have to show you before we get into all the games are a bunch of consoles. Mostly handheld, but there's some really, really awesome stuff in here. So, first up, we have the new 2DS XL, which comes with Mario Kart 7. This is the blue and black 2DS XL. We then have the new 2DS XL Purple and Silver. This is one of the refurbished products from Nintendo's website, like I was telling you guys before. This one was actually traded into the store, I believe. And I have a bunch of these. I've bought most of them directly from Nintendo, but this purple one I did not have. Then, we have the Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth Special Edition 3DS XL. This was actually in our collection before, and Abby sold it to our friend Nathan. I can't remember, she needed some money for something, I can't remember what, but it was sold with the understanding that if he was ever going to sell it, that he would sell it back to us, and that ended up happening. And then this one Abby bought from the Expo as well. This is the 3DS XL Disney Magical World Special Edition, which is a really cool white console. It's got like some gold and stuff on the top. Looks really nice. Then, I have the clear Play It Loud original Game Boy. It's missing most of the other stuff that goes in the box here. It's missing like missing the headphones. I think there's like a cable that comes with it, and maybe, I don't know if Tetris came with these ones or not, but it just has it's got the paper insert, which is the main thing. Those are always missing. And then it's got the manuals, and then of course the actual Game Boy itself. Got that from Tappers, which is a local game store. And then, the last handheld system is the Daihawks Game Boy Color. This is a really, really cool Japanese exclusive color for the Game Boy. It's clear orange on the front and like a clear black on the back of it, which is really, really awesome. They also have a Daihawks Nintendo 64 console and controller, which I do not have. I have the controller, I don't have the console yet. But that is super, super cool. And we actually have one of these at the store, I think, for sale. And then I think we actually have another one coming in the mail right now. So, pretty crazy, because they're really hard to find. And then the last two, I have, for my current collection, my first Super Nintendo Junior, or Model 2, which is this one here. And what's really cool is that it still has the original paper on the back unripped. Those are usually always ripped off. And then the serial number that's on that matches the console inside, which is how most collectors want to get their complete in-box stuff. You don't want to have to piece it together. So matching serial numbers is really cool because it means that this was original to this box. You know, this console and box were sold together originally, and they've been kept together all these years, which is super awesome. The last console I have to show you guys before we get into the games is a Japanese Nintendo 64. Normal kind of box, except for this big sticker here. And this big sticker basically tells you, obviously I can't read it because it's in Japanese, but it tells you that these are inside. And just to show you real quick, everything in here is with the original baggies, got all the paperwork. It's basically, you know, very lightly used, if at all. But these here, I'm not going to open this because they're in little baggies, but this red one looks like a Pokédex, and inside is a little mini disc that I think had like some music on it, maybe something like a screensaver type thing. I can't remember exactly. I remember looking it up when I got this, but it's been a couple months. But this is the really, really cool part. I'm going to open this to show you guys real quick. So this is the Pocket Monsters, which in North America is called Pokemon. And this has 2 exclusive cards. And it is a Porygon and a Snorlax. These are both holographic. And what's really cool is that both of these cards are sealed in these little individual baggies. And they are attached to this paper. And because they're both still in there, those cards are basically mint. And what I really, really like about that is that most of these cards, I mean, I would assume, I don't live in Japan, but I would assume that this bundle, this particular Nintendo 64 bundle that includes those, is probably really difficult to find. And when you do find it, it's probably missing the cards most of the time. At least that's how it is with things in the US that come with cards. All the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon games that come with cards, they're always missing when you find those items pre-owned. So to get those cards in here new is really, really cool. Those cards alone have sold on eBay for more than what I paid for this entire bundle, including shipping from Japan. So I'm super, super happy with that. You guys know I love Nintendo 64. I can't collect a lot of games anymore since I already have them all. So getting anything for the collection is super awesome. And that's it for all that stuff. So I'm going to pause real quick, clear all this stuff out, and we'll come back with all the games. So one thing that you're going to notice with my pickup videos going forward, especially if you've watched a lot of my previous ones, is that I'm getting less and less of random stuff for consoles. And what I mean by that is, you know, 10 pickup videos ago, I might have shown like a stack of 20 PS2 games, a stack of 20 PS1 games. I would have like, you know, a bunch of Game Boy and DS and Wii and all this stuff. And what you're going to notice, at least starting with this one, is that I only have a couple games for most of those consoles, and the majority of the focus is on Switch and Super Nintendo. Now, a large amount of Switch games is nothing new for my pickup videos, but since I completed the Dreamcast and the GameCube collections, I'm now focusing on Super Nintendo, so you're going to be seeing me pick up a lot more of that stuff, and I have a ton of games here to show you from the Super Nintendo, but we'll save that for a little bit later. So, where am I going to start? I'll start with Game Boy Advance, how about that? First, I have a bunch of cartridges. I think I'm just going to take a separate clip, lay these out, and film them, and just show you that on the screen right now, because I'm so far away from the camera, they're going to be too small to even see. But these are cartridges that I needed to fill boxes that I already have. So I actually am missing very few cartridges for the Game Boy Advance and very few manuals now, which is really, really cool because I have a pretty decently sized Game Boy Advance collection. So most of them being complete now is awesome. And then the new ones we're adding here, we have Spider-Man, Mysterio's Menace, Advanced Guardian Heroes, Donkey Kong Country 3, which is awesome. And then this last one, I actually found at the Goodwill outlet. There's no cartridge in here, but it does have the manuals, and that is Yoshi Topsy Turvy. This box is in really, really nice condition. I did have to buy it from another person at the outlet because they actually found it, so I think I paid $15 for it. And then I had to buy it from Goodwill, which it cost me like 5 cents because it weighs nothing. But that was super cool. Let's go to PS1. I only have a couple games here. We have Formula 1 Championship Edition. We have a long box copy of Tekken. I have a lot of long box games, and that was not one of them, so happy to add that to the collection. And then the last one here is really, really unique, and this is just a black label copy of Final Fantasy VII, and if I were to tell you that it was a misprint version, you'd probably have an idea of what that meant, because there is a known misprint on this game. However, that's not the misprint that I have here. I'm going to take a clip so I can show this one close up as well, but there is like text printed on the back artwork upside down, and it appears to be related to the machine that printed the artwork. It says phone numbers and their associated names are something in something order. Dial key, something to select the first character of the name. It just seems like a test page that would maybe be printed out for some sort of printing machine. So that is really, really unique, really, really cool. I have no idea if this is like a common error. I've never seen it before, but I thought that was cool enough to add to the collection. Let's move right into PS2. We have NBA 08 The Life V3, which is just a game I've never really seen before. It's not really rare or anything, but whenever I come across a game I haven't seen, I usually add it to the collection. Next is Happy Feet, but this is a variant that includes a bonus disc. Pretty weird. And the bonus disc is a music CD, and it's got 6 tracks on it. Another variant, we have Onimusha Warlords. This is it's a Target exclusive free hint card enclosed, and it is indeed in there. It's like a plastic like gift card type thing. It's a Capcom prepaid hint card from Target. Pretty awesome. And then we have the Burnout Anthology for PS2, which comes in a slipcover here, and it's got 3 games. It has Burnout Dominator, Burnout Revenge, and Burnout 3 Takedown. The Burnout Dominator inside is factory sealed, the other 2 are opened. I don't really care about getting a lot of factory sealed games, which I've mentioned quite a bit. So I don't think that one's really worth much. But if I get an opened complete copy, I'll probably swap that out at some point. But since it does come in this pack, it has to have, instead of a barcode, it has to say part of a set down here on the back. So unless I find that exact version, this factory sealed one will have to do for now. I have 3 Japanese Virtual Boy games, which I'm adding to the collection. As you guys may or may not know, I do have a complete in-box North American Virtual Boy set, so I'm going after the Japanese ones as well because there's so few games. In North America, we got 14, and I think in Japan, there's only like 20. And I already have most of them. So, adding to that collection is Mario's Tennis, Mario Clash, and Tellero Boxer. And this Tellero Boxer box is in really, really nice condition. Super cool. I have exactly 1 GameCube game because I have the full North American GameCube library as well. This is a variant though. This is the Target exclusive Metroid Prime. It's got the Target logo on the front. It says coupons inside, $50 in savings only at Target. And inside it has this little booklet which has coupons for $5 off Zelda Wind Waker, $5 off Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, $5 off any strategy guide, $5 off a Wavebird. There's a bunch of them in here. So that is super, super cool. I love getting all these different, you know, Target, Walmart, Kmart exclusive games. A couple GameStop ones too. Super awesome. Love variant collecting like that. And then I only have 3 Nintendo Wii games, and these are all games that I've never seen or heard of before. I don't remember if they were anything too special, but at least a little uncommon. We have Hyper Fighters. And then Winter Blast, 9 Snow and Ice games. And World Championship Athletics. Probably just like terrible filler titles, but at least somewhat uncommon because I've never seen them. Alright, so let's go with original Game Boy. There's some really good stuff in here. Very happy with these additions to the collection. We have, I think it's pronounced Daedalian Opus. We also have Tiny Toon Adventures, Bab's Big Break. And some of these are like box or box manual only. Some of them need cartridges. We have Altered Space, which is a Sony game released on the Game Boy. We have Yogi Bear's Gold Rush. Burger Time Deluxe. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan. Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly. And then, probably one of the rarest Game Boy games, the Niv Bible and the 20 Lost Levels of Joshua, which is a Wisdom Tree game that is incredibly rare. This is complete in box, and what's really, really weird is that, and I don't know if it just is this rare or if something is kind of messed up, but typically, when you look on price charting, you can see previous sold listings for games, and they all have dates, so you can tell like how often a game is selling based on that. It's not perfect, but it's a good way to just kind of get a quick check. When you look at the complete tab for this game on price charting, there is not a single listing. Not a single one. And there's a couple factory sealed listings on there. I think there's a couple loose, I think there's plenty of loose ones, but for complete in box, there's not a single one. I have no idea if that means it's just like impossible to find or what, but it's very interesting at the very minimum. Let's go to NES. Some really cool stuff in here as well. First, I have a Canadian version of Super Mario Bros. 3. It's got the red strip across the top that says Nintendo Entertainment System. The reason that I wanted this particular version is because I have a box that has the same red strip across the top. Let me see if I can find that real quick, because I actually wanted to double check. Okay, so it's not the one that I have down here. I think it's one that's in the challenge set that comes with Mario 3. This is a Canadian version of the cartridge, so I don't think that it necessarily goes in that box, but I'm pretty sure the box had the red strip across the top. I'm gonna have to double check, but either way, it's kind of a cool little variant, I guess. And then I have a prototype for Legendary Wings. And I bought this from a game store in Canada a very long time ago, and somebody who lives in Canada was able to pick it up for me, and they've just been holding it forever. Finally got it shipped down here, and from what I remember and what I understand, this is basically a full game version. So there shouldn't be a difference between this and a regular copy of the game, other than it, you know, being a prototype. So it's got like the weird like handwritten label on here, and then I think the board looks different from a standard one. I can't remember. It's been literally like 2 years since I bought it, but it was pretty cheap. I won this in a Facebook auction from that store, and it was like 200 bucks. Can't really go wrong. Next, we have Golf Power and Fester's Quest. Some of these games I may already have in the collection, so the ones I'm showing you here would have been condition upgrades that I got. I think Fester's Quest was one of those. Then we have Nobunaga's Ambition. And then with the plastic on the box, just cut open at the top, just how I like it, we have Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I bought this from Al's Music, Movies, and Games at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And then, also with the plastic on it, we have Batman, the video game. And then we have Magician, and as you might be able to tell, there's a huge chunk missing out of the bottom right corner of the box, and it goes all the way through. It looks like a mouse ate the box. So this is one that obviously I'm going to need a condition upgrade on in the future, but I didn't have it, and it came into the store, so just for the sake of, you know, filling out the set, might as well add it now and then upgrade it in the future if I can. And then also Klax, which is a Tengen game, unlicensed game. And then we have two other ones here. We have DuckTales 2, which is super awesome. I love DuckTales 1. I've never played the second game, but someone actually contacted us through email to sell this, and I bought it under the impression that I already had this game, and I was pretty sure that I just needed like the cartridge or something like that, and I might have been thinking of Rescue Rangers 2 instead, which is up on the shelf. I'll have to check later to see if the cartridge is in there, but when I bought this, I was pretty sure I already had it, and I just was going to compare them and keep the best. And then when I brought it home to compare, it was not on the shelf, so I did not have it, so I decided to hold on to that one. And the last Super Nintendo game, or the last NES game here, is another condition upgrade. This one, I had just a box and manual before, but they were both really, really rough. So this was a very nice upgrade. I bought this from Al's, once again, also at PRGE, and that is Snow Brothers. And this one has the plastic on the box, the original plastic. Like I said before, I was missing a cartridge. I just had the box and manual, but mine was like really badly crushed. The manual, I'm pretty sure, had like tape on it and stuff. So that is a really, really nice upgrade. Super happy with that. Moving on, let's go to 3DS. So, the first three games here are new releases from Limited Run, and it is Go-Go Coco Polo 3D Space Recipe for Disaster and Go-Go Coco Polo Harmonious Forest Revenge. So I have each individual title there. Then they also released them as a double pack, which I have here. And this is called the Anniversary Collection. So, pretty cool to see 3DS games still coming out. And then we have Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, which is one of the games that always kind of looks fake because the artwork on the front is literally pixelated. It looks so bad. Like, the ESRB rating, the text down here, the game company's logo, the 3DS logo is all perfectly, you know, what's the word? It looks good, basically. But the whole artwork here, the logo, it's all pixelated. It looks a little bit blurry, and it just looks fake every time I see it. But I just have to remind myself, they all look like that. Super weird. Then we have Dragon Ball Fusions, Hatsune Miku Project Mirai DX, Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. So I showed you guys earlier in this video the console, and then I also have the special edition version of the game that comes with like the tarot cards or something, but I didn't have the regular one here. Senran Kagura Deep Crimson, another one that I only had the special edition of, so I needed to get the regular version. And then I have 4 Yokai Watch games that I did not have. So Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits, and Fleshy Souls. Bony Spirits we already had, but only sealed, so I wanted to get an open one. I'll probably sell the sealed one now. So we have both of those, but these other 2 are incredibly expensive, and I can't believe it. But we have Yokai Watch Blasters, Red Cat Core, and White Dog Squad. This one, because I just put these in my spreadsheet earlier, this one I think was $260 on price charting, and this one was $300. That is ridiculous. The regular, like the first Yokai Watch, is like a $5 game sealed, but for some reason, all the other ones are kind of expensive. It's crazy. Let's go to Nintendo Switch now. And this, the stack of Super Nintendo looks bigger, but the boxes are also a lot bigger, so Switch is what I have the most of to show you guys. I'm going to go through these kind of quick. I'll mention maybe a couple games that I have played here and there as I'm going through. This one, I think, might be a duplicate, because I was looking at the shelf a couple days ago looking for a game to play, and I'm pretty sure I saw this sitting on there, so I have to double check, but Castlevania Anniversary Collection. We have Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, Wargroove Deluxe Edition, The Mummy Demastered, Carto, and this is a, like, cover art variant, because we have this game at the store, we have plenty of copies, we've sold a lot, but it has a different cover than that, so that's an interesting variant. Then we have Doom. This is a sealed copy. It's got the Fred Meyer stickers on here, which kind of sucks because they don't really come off, but that game, for some reason, a sealed copy is very expensive. It's like over $100. Then we have Sonic Frontiers. I thought about playing this one, but from everything I've heard, it's just okay. We have Kiwi, which looks kind of fun. We have Marsupilami Huba Venture. Reminds me of Hoobastank. But that one looks kind of fun as well. I'll probably check those 2 out at some point. And this one I really want to play, but this is going to be a multiplayer game night kind of game to play. That is Very Very Valet. I don't know if it's made by the same people or not, but it looks like and reminds me of Overcooked or Moving Out, which are both really, really fun multiplayer games, so we're definitely going to be checking that one out. Just don't want to play it single player. The Badass from Hell Helmet. Crypt of the Necro Dancer, Nintendo Switch Edition, Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure, probably a fun game, I'll probably check that out as well, Dark Souls Remastered, The World Ends With You Neo, Griffin Knight Epic Definitive Edition, Ori the Collection, Digimon Survive, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol Double Pack, Deer Simulator, Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, very interesting title, Manifold Garden, and Made in Abyss. Showed you the special edition earlier, that's the standard one here of course. We have Turrican Flashback and Witch Spring 3 Refine the Story of Irudi, I think is how you say that. We have Taito Milestones, Cotton Fantasy, Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, Nier Automata, Is it Automata or Automata? I don't know. The End of Yorha edition. Zombie Army 4, Dead War. Bayonetta 3. We have Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition. We have the Standard and the Elite Edition. NBA 2K22 and My Street Power Soccer. Let's Build a Zoo, which I'm probably going to be playing at some point. White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. Daemon Ex Machina, I think is how you say it. Bubble Bobble 4 Friends, The Baron is Back. Cars 3, Driven to Win. This is an awesome game. I played the Wii U version. Crosscode. Root Double, Before Crime After Days Extended Edition. Speed Limit. And this one came with a soundtrack and a poster as well. Fox and Forest, which I'm pretty sure this is a pretty hard to find game. This is number 12 from Strictly Limited, number 2009. We have Quake and 13. And this 13 has a slipcover on it, which is like embossed. Pretty cool. Mario Chronicle H. Ikai. And Iris Fall. We have these ones at the store. It says bonus digital OST included. We actually have a lot of these at the store. Anytime we order any new Switch games for the store, I always take one for myself. So it's easy to build a collection quickly when you do it like that. We have Earth Atlantis, the Standard Edition, and the Elite Edition. This is Chaos Head Noah Chaos Child Double Pack, which is in... There's a regular case inside and a steelbook, and then it's got a cardboard slipcover on it. Yomawari Lost in the Dark Deluxe Edition. Into the Breach. Kamawaza Way of the Thief. And you know what? I just realized I'm so far away from the camera, this probably is not a fun video to watch, so I think when I'm editing it, I'm going to zoom it in quite a bit so you can actually see what I'm holding up. Waku Waku Sweets. Sports Party. A couple Sonic games I did not have. Sonic Forces and Team Sonic Racing. Monopoly. The Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. So cool that he has a physical Switch game. This one is Amnesia Memories. And we have Baldo, the Guardian Owls, the Three Fairies Edition. This is another game that I was interested in checking out. I just have not yet. They Always Run. Code of Princess EX. This is a cover variant. There's two versions. We have Etherborn and Grim Fandango Remastered. I know a lot of people grew up playing Grim Fandango and a lot of people love it. I have not played it myself. Mutazone. Then we have Pokemon Scarlet. We have Veteran Edition of Strife. And then we have the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Double Pack. And I'm not sure if my case is in here. I still have 2 stacks of Switch games to go through, but Pokemon Violet, I didn't play Scarlet, I did play Violet. It was such a fun game. There's lots of bugs, a lot of people like to complain about it and meme it and stuff, but it is a really, really fun game despite all of the problems, and I would highly recommend it. If you loved the Pokemon games when you were younger, but you haven't really played any of them, I would say this is a really good one to jump back in, because I played the Diamond and Pearl remakes that came out, and after about 10 hours, I got pretty bored. I put in 55 hours into Violet, and I loved every second of it. Super, super fun game. If you liked Arceus, and you like other Pokemon games, it's kind of a mix between like the older style and a little bit of Arceus, which I really liked. I liked Arceus more than Violet, but I do think it's a really, really fun game. You should definitely check it out. We have Severed Steel, Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival, No Man's Sky. Still can't believe that's on Switch. That's so weird. Ooblets, which looks like a pretty fun game. It's another farm sim though, and I think I need a break from farm simulators for a couple years. Persona 5 Royal, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville Complete Edition, Rune Factory 4 Special. I just played Rune Factory 5 for the first time the other day. It's the only Rune Factory game I've played, and that's kind of why I'm thinking I need a break from Farm Sims, because I played both the Story of Seasons games that were on Switch earlier in the year, and I just got bored after only a couple hours, unfortunately. I really wanted to like it, but I need a break from them. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, The Prophecy of the Throne, Day 1 Edition. So it's in like a big box here. Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. This is in my list of games to play, which is why I already opened it. The cartridge is in my little Switch case thing. I have not played it yet, but I think it looks amazing and I cannot wait. Then we have Dragon Quest Treasures. I have played this one, I think roughly 5 hours or so. It's kind of fun, but it's not quite what I was hoping for. And I will say I'm kind of bored of it already, unfortunately. It is a fun game. I'm not saying I'm done playing it, but I'm playing SpongeBob Rehydrated right now, which is really, really good. So, I'm taking a break from Dragon Quest Treasures. We have Flashback 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition. Runner 3, which is also on my list of games to play. Adam really likes this game. He highly recommends it. Rabbids Party of Legends. Then we have The Binding of Isaac Repentance. And it comes with a little slipcover here with a manual inside. I was sick, and I was out of the store for a couple days. When I got back, this was waiting for me, and it was in a box. And I didn't really look at the box, I just looked at what was inside, which was this, assuming that I had ordered it from Nick Callis' website or something. When I was going to enter my stuff into my spreadsheet earlier today, I went to their website and looked at my orders, and it was not on there. I've not placed an order from their website in 2 years, and I have no idea where that came from. I don't know if I bought it from a different place, or something. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I gotta look at the box once I go back to the store tomorrow. But really weird. Then we have Stellar Interface, the regular version, and the Elite Edition. We have Pac-Man Museum Plus. We have a Steelbook for Mario Rabbids. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is just a Steelbook here. And it was sticking to this one, because there was a sticker on here I took off, but It Takes Two. Watch the trailer for this. Looks really, really good. I do plan on playing this one, probably with Adam. Then we have Oniken plus Autolus Collection, limited edition, I think. This is an East Asia Soft release. We have Slaycation Paradise. We have Remothered Tormented Fathers. Arcade Spirits. Captain Tsubasa, Rise of New Champions. Hollow Knight, which I definitely plan on checking out. I know a lot of people really, really love that game. West of Loathing. Oddworld Collection, which is another one that's on my list of games to play. It's a re-release of 3 older Oddworld games. Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero Deluxe Edition. Holy Potatoes Compendium, another 3-game compilation. This one I think looks interesting as well, just from the one screenshot on the back. If you guys have played this game, let me know what it's like, because I do want to try it out. Temtem. This is a game that I tried to play. It's a Pokemon ripoff, but it is a MMO on the Switch. I played it for about 5 minutes, and I could not stand the controls, and I took it out. Then we have Flint Hook. I did play this game. The controls are kind of hard to get used to, but it is a really fun, like, retro-looking platformer with a cool mechanic where you have, like, a grappling hook, basically. But I only played about an hour of it or so, but pretty fun. So apparently these are all the games that I played in a stack here. Pac-Man World Repack. Played this one for about an hour as well. It's a remake of a PS1 game, so you shouldn't expect too much going into it. I kind of didn't, but I also got bored really quickly. I did like the first world or something like that, and then I have no desire to continue. This game I played and beat in only about 10 hours, so it's not super long, but that's Oceanhorn, Master of Uncharted Seas. This game is really fun. It's like a little Zelda clone, but one thing that I didn't know until I was almost done beating the game is that this started out as a mobile game, and it does not feel like a mobile game at all. It's not perfect. There is some problems, but overall, this is a really fun little Zelda clone. I would definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're in for like a shorter, you know, kind of adventure game like that. Only about 10 hours, like I said. Then we have Splatoon 3. Put about 20-25 hours into this one. Mostly playing multiplayer online with Adam and Macy, and then also the card game that's inside the game is really, really fun. The single player, I did like the first kind of like tutorial world, and that was it. Seemed cool, but I was more into the card game in there. Tai and Tai 2 HD remasters. Probably play those at some point. Tormented Souls. Probably another survival horror, which I will not play because I do not like them. Amnesia, Later Crowd. Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse. This is a remake of an original Xbox game, which is kind of rare, at least for an Xbox title. But it seems like a funny horror game. So I'll try to check that out at some point. Star Wars Pinball. I've also thought about putting this in my Switch a few times now, but opted for other games. But I'll probably check that out at some point. Kill La Kill, the game If. Riot Civil Unrest. Langrisser 1 and 2. Titan Quest, which seems like an Abby kind of game, but it also seems like it's probably not that good. Undernaut's Labyrinth of Yomi, or Yami. And then God Eater 3. So those are all the Switch games, finally. Alright, let's go to Game Boy Color. I have a not-for-resale cartridge of Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. The label is kind of ripped on it, so it's kind of ugly, but it is a not-for-resale, and it's one that I did not have, so have to add it to the collection for now. Maybe I'll get an upgrade in the future. Then we have Army Men. I have a sealed copy of International Track and Field. Like I said, I don't really care too much about getting sealed games, but this is a game I didn't have, so sealed one is okay for now, and then, you know, maybe upgrade it in the future, or not upgrade, but I'll get a complete one in the future and replace it. Then we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This has the plastic on the box, and I actually found this at another game store, and I already had this game, but it had the plastic on it, and we were looking for Christmas gifts, so I ended up grabbing this one for myself, and then I gave my old copy to Ryan for Christmas, and he was super happy about that. The one I gave him didn't have a manual, but I actually got a manual coming in the mail right now for him. Found it at another game store. It was only $4, so that's awesome. Last Game Boy Color game, this was a gift from Adam, I think for my birthday. That is 3D Ultra Pinball Thrill Ride, which is one of the Rumble Game Boy Color games. So it's in a bigger box here to accommodate the extra size of the cartridge. Super, super cool. So I have DS, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 left. So I'm going to go with DS first here. Some really, really good games in here as well, in no particular order. Of course, we have Dementium 2, Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, Atelier Annie, Alchemists of Sarah Island, Avalon Code. Like I said, some pretty cool stuff in here. We have the Nintendo DS browser, which is not rare. Sonic Rush Adventure. New Zealand Story Revolution. Boing Okamadake, I think is how you say it. Nanda's Island. Just a weird game I've never seen before. And then we have 3 Mega Man games here. First is Mega Man ZX. Fairly inexpensive title, but these two are expensive, and most of the Mega Man Star Force games, or all of them on the DS, are really expensive. I don't know why. You would think that being Mega Man games, they probably sold a decent number of copies, but for some reason, they're really, really hard to find and very expensive. So we have Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker Ninja, and Mega Man Star Force 3 Red Joker. These games are like hundreds of dollars each, which is so crazy. I have a decent number of the Mega Man DS games now. I think so I have 3 here, and I think I had 3 in the collection already. So I don't know exactly how many there are, but there's 2 versions each of Star Force 2 and 3 at least. There's ZX and ZX Advent, and then maybe a couple other ones. All right, so I'm going to go with Nintendo 64 and save Super Nintendo for last because there's only 3 Nintendo 64 items here, and the first one is for 64DD, and that is SimCity 64. So this will be game number 8 for my 64 DD collection. Going for the full set just because I love collecting for the 64, but I need to get a console at some point. And we've gotten 2 at the store so far, decided to sell both of them because they're so expensive. At some point though, I'll get one and keep it. This was a really nice condition upgrade, and that is for Flying Dragon. Fairly uncommon title, you don't see very often, even loose. But this box, I think this was traded into the store, it's hard to remember. But my box was pretty beat up, so this is a nice upgrade. And then, probably one of the rarest things in my entire collection. You guys probably know about this already if you've been keeping up on the videos, but this is Rampage 2 Universal Tour t-shirt bundle for the Nintendo 64. This one just happens to be graded. I don't care about it being graded, but it is sealed with the t-shirt on the back of the box. And I bought this from Finn Gamer, who is another YouTuber, really, really awesome. I love his videos. Very, very, like, soothing, interesting voice to listen to. But he put out a video talking about all his, like, most expensive games in his collection. This was on the list, and he put a value on it, and he mentioned something about, like, possibly, you know, selling it, replacing it with, like, just an opened copy. And I was like, hey, I'll buy that. And he replied back, we started emailing, and worked out a deal, and I bought this from him. And it was extremely expensive, but I bought it, he agreed to sell it to me right after PRGE, so we had, like, the PRGE sales, had some money, was able to pay for it then. Otherwise, I would not have been able to afford this, obviously, because I paid $3,000 for this game, which is a crazy amount of money. That is the second most expensive game I've ever purchased. The only game that was more than this was My Little Samson, and it was only more by like a couple $100. So, extremely expensive, but unless one of you guys can tell me different in the comments, I think that this might be the only one known to exist where the shirt is still sealed to the back of the box. If you look on eBay and stuff, you can find other copies that include the t-shirt, but they're not sealed together still, and the t-shirt is like opened and, you know, maybe been worn or whatever, which is what Finn Gamer was buying to replace this one, because he's fine with having a complete one. But for me, it's got this piece of paper on the back of the shirt, which is probably not included in the opened ones, and I like to get it all how it was originally supposed to be. I don't care that it's sealed necessarily, but if you want that t-shirt with it, you kind of have to get it that way. So I'm very, very happy to have it. And like I said, if you guys know of any other ones that exist that are still sealed, please let me know, because as far as I can tell, this might be the only one, which is really, really cool. Alright, so moving on to Super Nintendo. So I have a lot here because this is the console that I'm currently focusing on, trying to complete the set. So right now, we have complete North American libraries, complete in box, of Nintendo 64, GameCube, Virtual Boy, Wii U, and Dreamcast. So we have 5 complete sets. This is the one we're focusing on. We have roughly 300 games left to get. I have most of the manuals I need coming in the mail right now. And need a few cartridges here and there, but we are making some good progress. And there's a lot of games. They take up a lot of room. I don't know where they're all going to fit. I have my collection on the wall over here next to me, and we have over 400 games, and we have to be able to fit another 300. I don't think they're going to fit on the wall here. I could maybe fit another 150 to 200 tops. So by the end of collecting for this set, things are going to have to move around in the room here to make some space. But I will try to save like the best ones for last, but they're not going to be in any particular order. You know, if I see a really expensive one, I'll put it to the side and show those last, but other than that, they're in no particular order. So most of these will be complete. A couple of them might be missing a manual or a cartridge or something like that, but like I said, I have most of the manuals coming in the mail already. So we have Bill Walsh, College Football, Flashback, which this game looks awesome. I love the art style on there. George Foreman's KO Boxing, Raiden Trad, and one that I think I already have. Actually, I don't think I have the game yet. But I played and beat a Super Nintendo game on Switch Online, which was Congo's Caper. That was a pretty fun little platformer, gotta say. Without the rewind feature, though, it probably would have taken me forever to beat it. But with the rewind feature, I was able to beat it in about half an hour. Not a super long game, but a fun one. Just figured I would mention that since I'm showing you guys Super Nintendo and I don't have that particular game to show. Next is Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? And also, recently, within the past couple months, I beat Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the beat-em-up, which was really, really good. Tecmo Super Baseball. Then we have Battletoads Double Dragon. Very happy to get that one. I have both of the Battletoads games now. And then Marvel Superheroes in War of the Gems, which is a pretty uncommon one. Really happy to get that. I have a not-for-resale cartridge of Tetris Attack. So it's got the not-for-resale label right there. The end label says not for resale, demo only, and then it's got the stickers on the back. Super cool. We have Hyperzone, Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls, Tasmania, Tecmo Super Bowl, Ultraman. I'm always so surprised that this game came out here because Ultraman is like a really popular franchise in Japan, but not really in North America at all. So it's kind of interesting that that game came out here, because I don't, unless there's like a Game Boy one or a Game Boy Advance game, I don't think that there's another Ultraman game that's been released in North America. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Tecmo Super Bowl 3 Final Edition, NBA All-Star Challenge, and NBA Jam Tournament Edition. A lot of these I did get from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, so you guys might have seen some if you watched those PRGE videos we did. Plock, definitely going to play that one at some point. Nolan Ryan's Baseball. A lot of sports games in here, but need to knock them off the list. NBA Jam. This one didn't have a manual. I got this at the expo, but Jesse, who is our editor, he said that he has a manual. He's going to be sending me one, which is awesome. It just hasn't arrived yet. Speedy Gonzalez. Los Gatos Bandidos, Jack Nicklaus Golf, Bazooka Blitzkrieg, which is one of the Super Scope games, Full Throttle All-American Racing. This was a condition upgrade, Super Empire Strikes Back, really, really nice condition on that box. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, F1 Rock Race of Champions, Rise of the Phoenix. This one does not have a manual. However, I have a complete copy of this coming in the mail right now. I bought it from another game store. So I'm going to combine the two and get the best condition one to keep. We'll have an extra box and cartridge to sell. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. This is the Player's Choice variant. I already have the regular one, but I am going for Player's Choice stuff as well. At least for the cartridges. I haven't started doing it yet for the GameCube. For some reason, because I think for the Wii, I do have the Nintendo Selects ones. So I should probably start the GameCube set since I finished the regular library. I have 3 boxes here, which I got in a lot on eBay. And these are all in really, really bad condition, but it was so cheap. This was like, there was a 4th game included, which I already had. But I think it was something like $380 worth of games, and it was like 120 bucks, so I couldn't pass it up. But we have Vortex. They are complete, it's just the boxes are kind of rough. Phantom 2040. And Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. Then we have Madden 97. We have Q*bert 3. Firepower 2000. Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. And this free inside collector baseball card. The card is in there. I think that this might have just been a condition upgrade or something like that, because I'm pretty sure I already have this. I'm going to compare it to my other one and figure it out. We have Outlander, which is a pretty uncommon game. Never even see it loose. Mech Warrior. Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball. And Kyle Petty's No Fear Racing. And then the last 4 games for today's pickup video. We have Nintendo Way of the Ninja. We have Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage. This is the limited edition red cartridge version. I'm pretty sure I already have the gray cartridge variant as well, so got both of them. Then this was just a condition upgrade, but it was a really nice one, and that is for Cybernator. And this has the original plastic on the box, just cut open at the end. Like I said, I really like finding games like that. And my other box was not in the best condition anyway, so that's a very nice upgrade. And lastly, maybe not the rarest or most expensive game in the video, but really, really cool. This is the first one I've ever owned, even though I've been collecting and buying and selling since 2008, and I've had my store since 2018. I've never even owned a loose copy of this, at least a legit one, and that is Super Noah's Ark 3D, which is the only unlicensed Super Nintendo game that was released during the actual console's, lifespan. This is a Wisdom Tree game. It is super weird. The box is thinner than every other Super Nintendo box, and it doesn't come with a cardboard insert, which I'm not sure if that is how it came originally. It probably is because it's a Wisdom Tree unlicensed game. Some of the other ones, they have just like bubble wrap around the cartridge. This one I'm not sure. The manual looks like a CD booklet, but maybe a little bit smaller. And then here is the cartridge. Not only is it a black cartridge, but it has like this really weird shape, and you can plug another cartridge in on top. And it only works when you have another game plugged in. It says right on the back of the box, this game runs only when piggybacked by a licensed Super Nintendo game as illustrated here, and it shows them plugging this in, then plugging another game in on top. Super, super weird. I can kind of see why there weren't other unlicensed games if that was the only way they could get them to play, because that is super weird, but really, really cool. I bought this at PRGE along with the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and the Snow Brothers from Al's. So shout out to Alice, who owns Al's. She is super nice, and she was able to work out a deal with me and help me get some awesome games for my collection. So thank you to her, and thank you guys for watching this extremely long pickup video. The keyword for this video to let me know that you watched the entire thing is going to be, let's make it gems. No, I think we've done it before. Let's do a harder one. Let's do fear from Kyle Petty's No Fear Racing. So if you use the word fear in your comment down below, that will tell me that you guys watched through the entire video and you didn't skip to the very end just to get the bonus, just to get the keyword. So put that in your comment, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. The next video that I upload on this channel after this pickup video should be a room tour. The first one in our house. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.